Hey, what's up, Lions of Chiropractic? Dr. Tony coming at you here through the screen, not in person. There's actually, I'm a cause-based chiropractor, right? That's what we are, DC's Doctor of Cause. So let me tell you why, we're obsessed with why I'm not there. Number one, turns out they tested me and I was trying to cross the pond and they tested my immune system and they said it's too strong. Like it's completely not interfered with, has just smoked a ton of germs. And you thought I was going to say smoke something else. I have had so much exposure to so much crap, awesomely, in a pediatric practice by putting my hands on sick kids and not doing the getting them well, but being the facilitator and the catalyst of getting them well through this amazing thing God gave us called chiropractic. So guess what I got out of that? Just a robust, resilient, kick-ass immune system. And evidently, you can't fly with strong immune systems anymore. Who'd have thought? Number two, because I can't keep up with your drinking. That's why I'm not there. Many years ago, I did have the unbelievable blessing by Ross Beck and the crew to be at Edinburgh lectures. And I don't even remember what I talked about. I don't remember what happened over there because you guys drink so much and I'm a pansy and not a lion when it comes to drinking. I mean, I thought I had it down, but you all are just hammered all night. You're just standing secure. Your nervous system's just adapting to it. You get up in the morning, you're having your coffee, you're all just proper and well-dressed and like nothing happened. Well, that was different for me. So over the next year, what I will do between this event and the next one, I will work on weakening my immune system and expanding my drinking capacity. And then maybe I can handle an in-person event in the UK with you all. I love you. Just having some fun before we get nerdy, before we get clinical, before we get miracle expecting and experiencing with kids. So also before I switch over, so you're on the Sunday session and Connor and the crew asked me to get into some practical, tactical, clinical action, which awesome. What a great request because I love teaching marketing of pediatric chiropractic, practice growth. We are blessed. We will demolish our record this year in practice and have a 6 doc, just a machine of hope, answers, help, and impact for kids and families in our community. But in that, all of that comes from clinical results. All of that comes from, we know that chiropractic is the best product on the planet. And we know that from studying it, from its science and its art, and then really science and philosophy, and then really figuring out the art, how to get the job done. So I'm going to focus on that. Now, obviously, can I teach technique in 20 minutes through a screen? No, but I can teach case management. And that is actually the secret sauce to clinical outcomes and miracles with kids. But before I switch over, I'm also not going to do it on slides. I'm going to change your viewpoint. I know after a seminar and you see a bunch of slides and awesome presentations and a lot of information, I know how the nervous system works. So I want to kind of freshen it up. And so that when you see in a second, we're going to switch over to my iPad whiteboard thing. And I'm going to keep it really, I'm a farm kid from Iowa over here in the States. I'm going to keep it really farmer simple as we get really advanced for 20 minutes into pediatric chiropractic clinical case management. But before I do that, what I'm getting at in my intro is this opportunity we have right now is at it's in our hands. There has never been a time that moms and dads are so ready for us to be the doctor of their family, to be the first choice, first stop. In fact, our organization, the Pediatric Experience, that's our mission statement. We firmly believe in our ability to get this done. Our vision statement, our mission is to train and equip thousands of pediatric chiropractors to get this done, to achieve the vision, which is to make pediatric and family chiropractic the first choice, first stop for tens and millions and one day hundreds of millions of families. Not last resort, not second, third, not, hey, drugs first, supplements second, chiropractic third. Here's what's happening. Drugs, the pediatrician, are tumbling down the pecking order. It is, I mean, what am I going to not be honest with you? It's me. I'm honest all day, every day. It is fantastic to watch, okay? Because they done screwed up. The amount of harm and illness and stress they have caused kids for generations. It's about time that the internet came around and exposed the truth and Parents are finding it. They're finding it on Instagram. They're finding it in Facebook groups. Google's trying to hide it, but they're still finding it anyways. They are finding the answers as to why their kids are so sick. And they're realizing that the trusted guide who they were supposed to go to and follow the advice of and action steps of to get healthy kids, the pediatrician ended up with sick kids. And so they are firing said pediatrician by the millions. Over here with the workplace world, they're calling it like the Great Resignation. Everybody's quitting their job, going a different direction. Parents were doing the Great Resignation long before the overreaction of all the COVID BS, okay? The cool thing, I know, is it cool at all? Well, there's always a silver lining in everything. What's really amazing is over the last 2 to 3 years, that actually accelerated, quadrupled, 10x'd the amount of people that are leaving the medical ship and coming on ours because they just overdid it. It was like their last ditch effort to remain in charge. And, they just dug their own you-know-what further. So I got to get into clinical case management teaching, but I'm going to tell you, if this sparks you, run with this freaking ball I loft across the ocean to you guys today. If you want your practice to explode now, literally, I used to say that this pediatric, what we call the PX model of practice, I used to say that this was the practice of the future. I was wrong. This is the practice of now. Serving kids and families in a neurologically focused, subluxation obsessed, principled, just absolutely efficient, high volume, high impact, all cash model. That's right there for you now. So that pivots us over here. What I know is that, here's how I want to kind of contrast this for you so I can really put on a T what I'm going to teach you today. I know how to grow a practice. I know how to grow a team. I know how to market. We've got great systems. So like if I took all my marketing stuff and I just shipped it over to you guys and it was all in binders and video courses and everything else, there you go, everyone. And I sent you all my practice growth systems, team, hiring, all we'll call it systems for a one-worder. And I sent you all the system stuff and it came over in binders and DVDs. Well, I'll age myself a bit. And you were to watch all that. And you installed it into your practice, but you skipped the 2 things I'm going to cover on the iPad here. None of my stuff would work for you when it works incredibly for us over here. So what would be the difference? Is it that my hair is just legendary? No, it used to be. I used to have really, really rad curly hair. Now it's just this choice. Is it that my beard is better than Connor's? Probably, that's a part of it, but it's not a huge, huge part of it. I don't even know if Connor has a beard right now. I'm not there. What it is my certainty and my ability to back up that certainty with clinical results. Hang with me here. We're literally getting right to the thick of it. So you may have passion, certainty, and an exuberance of energy about chiropractic coming out of your freaking eyeballs. But things change when it comes to serving kids. Moms need a whole nother level of it from us than a dude with back pain or an athlete with a sports injury or a corporate wellness Wanda who wants to get better in that world. There is a whole different level of these things, certainty and clinical results that you have to hit in order to build a pediatric practice. Now, once you cross that line, good night. It takes care of itself because moms talk. They will post about you, share about you, and blow your practice up for you. So what we're getting at with this is, my least favorite word to use all the time, not all the time, I don't use it all the time, is the word me or I, because I will tell you, too many people get hung up on that and they make it about them instead of about kids and families. If you know me at all, if this is your first experience, I'm telling you, coming through this freaking camera, the only thing I care about is not me, and whoa, look at what I've done, not even you, homie. Okay? My intent with this talk is to work through you to the kids and families in your community. Now, will you have a great result if you take this stuff and put it into action? Will that improve your practice and improve your life for your family? Heck yes. I'm going to high five, praise hands that sucker up too. But it's through you to those kids that this makes the difference. So the reason I want to put that contrast, I'm not going to just give anybody the marketing stuff or the system stuff if we don't give them the certainty and the clinical badassity and the ability to get results first. That's the foundation of what makes a kick-ass kid chiropractor. So let me give you, I got to get my timer back on here so I don't run out and screw up your guys' seminar. Let me give you what I know is the gold matter that is missing from the vast majority of chiropractors when they're serving kids. So my 3 clinical tips here, as we switch this sucker over, the 3 clinical tips I have for you as you see them on the screen here. What I'm really going to be talking about, and I actually have a hard time going in this section. I'm going to be talking about like, hey, what's missing or what's negative or where are we screwing things up? Because I want you to understand the subluxations. I want you to see the subluxations we have as chiropractors holding us. Because what does subluxation do? Limits results, limits potential, limits optimal function, right? So if you're not having your optimal practice, if in your heart and soul is a ton of kids, pregnant moms and families, and you're not there yet, what I'm probably going to be able to do here is to expose where you're subluxated, expose where you're missing. And guess what? We all freaking started subluxated. So this is zero judgment. This is 100% support. When we illuminate on here, hey, you got to handle this and you got to handle this. If you don't have it in 10 out of 10 certainty and clinical skill set yet, well, dang good thing you're sitting in that chair so you know what you're missing. And I'll leave you at the end with where to go get it to fill it up to 10 out of 10. And I'll check back with you in a year. And I promise you, your practice will be full of a lot more kids and families than it is right now in this moment if you take action. I'm taking the action. Y'all got to take this and do something with it. Otherwise, it's just a talk that's like a fart in the wind again, okay? And I don't even know. Does it get windy over there? In Chicago, farts blow away fast, all right? I did say that in the video. So, okay. So here we go. What's really holding us back from seeing more kids? You ever been broken up with when somebody, and they maybe said to you, you know, it's not you, it's me. What they really mean is it's definitely you and it's definitely not me. Okay, if anybody's ever told you that in any sort of situation, and you probably know that, right? So here's the deal. What's holding our profession back from seeing more kids? It's not them, parents, not wanting to choose us. It's us not getting the message out. 1, big enough. 2, clear enough to get them to buy it from us. We're so hung up in back pain and everything else. Now, what's actually happening is essential oils, the growth of that market through the freaking roof. Supplements, detoxes, diet changes, every single thing like us. Wellness, natural health, integrative, functional, whatever you want to call it. It is the hottest marketplace out there. So traditional medicine, drugs, going down. Natural health, on fire. Us, third tier, third category, neurological healthcare, stuck in the mud. Our fault, not theirs. Let's illuminate, that's a weird word. Let's expose what's causing us to get stuck, get through it collectively, not just me, not just you, but all freaking of us. Take over pediatric healthcare in the world over the next generation. I'm telling you, we could do it. It is prime for us to do it right now. So we have our own perfect storm. Normally, when I get on stuff like this, I'm teaching the actual science part and the certainty part. I'm actually going to skip the science part today, and I'm going to go into the case management tips for 10 minutes, okay? Now, hang with me the last 2 minutes because we have a science course that my bad joke before about shipping DVDs across the ocean. It's an online course. So you guys can have my perfect storm science course. It's going to be $300. And $100 of it is going to you guys for Uganda, for the college in Scotland, for everything. We're going to literally, you guys, this science course is worth 10 times the $300. We'll talk about it at the end. I'll have my team put a code or a link or a whatever they call it, QR code thing up here at the end. And we'll get it rocking and rolling. But I'm telling you this, you do need the certainty to then step into this. And I'm about to show you that. But I don't have so much time. So I'll get you that after. Let's crush case management for 10 minutes. Lean into your chair. Stay with me. This is how we get the job done. Number 1, what is missing for us, I'm actually going to change this up a little bit just so we can really see it. Our perfect storm that is holding us back from seeing kids is not one thing, it's 3 things, and they're threaded together. There's a sequence to this. Just like prenatal stress and birth trauma are actually the 2 early sequences that causes kids to get sick way more than vaccines, way more than gluten, way more than dairy, way more than genetics. The things we blame actually for causing kids to get sick come later, and we miss the stuff that's early. I think that happens to us too. We don't even realize the first 2 strikes we have, they're right in front of us, but we can't see them. So it's lack of certainty, okay? Now, this one's just so huge. It's a huge across chiropractic completely, right? Dr. Dina Martini taught it to me really early on. If you're not on fire, no one comes around to watch you burn. So what he was saying is, get on fire, man. Fall in love with the philosophy, fall in love with the science, fall in love with the art of chiropractic. And if you just did that, like if you just check this box, you're going to grow your practice if you just have certainty spewing from you, okay? People will come and be like, what's up with this dude? What's up with this lady? It's at least worth checking out. Seems a little cray. So certainty is the first thing that starts, but there has to be a calm, clear certainty for a pediatric practice. See, moms can smell the script 10,000 miles away. Moms are making the decision for healthcare for the families, and you cannot have a script. You cannot be a generalist. You cannot BS your way to a pediatric practice. You can't even get one kid under care in that way. So certainty is a must for them. If you don't have your certainty, that's why there's arrows over here. Lack of certainty leads to a lack of, this can be a little hard for me to fit this all in this line, clinical case management. Now, I'm on fire here. I'm talking about certainty. I'm talking about opportunity to grow the pediatric practice. I'm talking about people firing the pediatrician and coming to pediatric chiropractors in droves. PX doctors are all over the world. They're setting record like crazy. And then this boring set of words shows up here. Clinical case management. What you don't even know until I kind of show it here is in school, they taught you, doesn't matter what school you went to, what they taught you how to do is to take care of musculoskeletal conditions, okay? You can Soto Hall and straight leg razor and sciatica annihilate better than anybody else on earth. Ooh, fixated joint with some osteophytes. You are the wizard of osteophyte prevention. Who cares? That is such a red ocean strategy. So all of this case management, how to really analyze the case history, how to really do an exam for a child that is completely different for an adult, how to care plan. So really what I want to talk about in this one here is just straight up, if I were to pick a word that I think can really resonate and land home, we are really, really missing care plans for kids. And my second page I'm going to scroll to in a minute is going to really, really, really give you some Jedi tips on that. And what this all adds up to, my friends, is the reason you are so quiet in your town about adjusting kids, the reason you are probably quieter than me on social media about adjusting and taking care of kids is however small or large the percentage is, it's like subluxation. There is no small subluxation in this category. If you doubt your ability to get results with kids, you will stay quiet. And when you stay quiet about serving kids and families, you will default to back pain, neck pain, and sports injuries because you are certain you can help that. You have a case management and a care plan and a communication structure to help and a business structure to help that. So by missing certainty of pediatric chiropractic, by lacking a clinical case management system for pediatric chiropractic, it actually quiets you. And that is why our profession has such a high level of obscurity and unknown potential, unmet potential, I would say, when it comes to serving kids and families. If you even have this a little bit and you've just gotten the message to resonate with one mom, I bet she has said to you, damn it, why didn't somebody tell me this before? So this is on us, our lack of knowing how to get results. We can look at this, docs, and we can go, oh, well, school should have, could have. They didn't, all right? So change it yourself with what we're going to go through on page 2 and what I'll leave you with as an action step in the last 2 minutes. So here is Tony's top 3 clinical tips. Tony's top 3 tips. Is that 3 T's? I have no idea. All right, so 3 T's are bad. These are good, okay? So that was a bad contrast metaphor there. All right, so these are pediatric clinical case management tips that I would tell you. I've been traveling the highways and byways and Zoom ways of pediatric chiropractic for a long time. I'm teaching students, teaching docs. This is the stuff that well over 80% of us really need to get over the hump with. And when we do, we change kids' lives like none other. So number 1, you need to 2 to 3x at minimum your care plan. This one gets me heated, so I'm going to stay calm. You believe me, right? So here's the deal. The reason that most families, most practicing chiropractors, when it comes to taking care of kids, doesn't have a lot of them coming in and sticking around is, again, the care plan of let's see how it goes is a complete medically based default. Let's see how it goes is how I was taught to care plan. And that's how 80% of us care plan with kids. And what it's saying to the parent is, hey, when the colic gets a little bit better, we'll back off. Hey, when the ADHD gets a little bit better, we'll back off. Hey, when the ear infection starts to clear off, we'll back off. Wholly medical application of a chiropractic art, philosophy, and science. That sucks. You want to know how I know that it sucks so much? Because I did it for years because I didn't know any other way. So my care plans looked like this, either 2 times a week. If it was real bad, I would maybe ratchet it up to 3 times a week. And then I would say, let's start there for 4 weeks and see how it goes. What kind of confidence? Let's go back to this. What kind of confidence, certainty, conviction, and clarity does a mom feel from you when you say, let's maybe kind of sort of start her out 2 times a week and see how it goes? Come on. That mom knows instantly that you don't know what you're doing. The care plan exposes your aptitude and your proficiency, or it delivers upon it or exposes the lack of it. So the care plan is the key. We start over half of our patients today, because unfortunately they're so subluxated, so jacked up. We start over half of our pediatrics, including many, many infant cases, on daily adjusting. I take care of perfect storm intensive kids who come to us from other states and other countries for 2 weeks of care, and then I send them back home to take care of with a PX doc who I've trained. We see them twice a day for 2 weeks. Care plans increase your frequency initially and increase your duration. Now, to do this, what would you have to have? Certainty, care plan, and communication, right? And so the other thing I could have said with inability is inability to communicate. Whether that's with parents already in your practice, in your community, when you lack the certainty and the care plan and the system to get results, you're not going to talk about it much. And so here, the reason that so many of us back off of our care plan is because we know we don't really have the ability to articulate its value. The reason we can't really articulate in the clear way is because we didn't handle the certainty. So it all starts from certainty. You either have it and everything flows from it, or you don't and everything gets subluxated because of it. All right. Number 2, now that you've doubled, tripled your care plan, cut in half the number, whatever you want to call it, I don't really call them segments, but the number of adjustments that you do per visit. Oh, I should have grabbed this on the shelf right outside here in our office. So in Stevenson, it talks about the scattering of repertory materials, right? And they call it shotgun adjusting. I don't know why we changed from shotgun adjusting to flying 7. That's what we use over here all the time. You cannot, don't even flying 3, kids, okay? You need to see them more often. The reason people will adjust too many segments per visit is because they're not having enough visits with kids. So you see how this is its own perfect storm? If you get jammed up on one thing, then everything else downstream gets weaker, not stronger. That literally, our practices are subluxated. That's why we're not seeing more kids and families. If we adjust, if we adapt, if we fix these subluxations, we make one move with our certainty and our case management skills. All right, we'll call it 2, but I really consider it 1A and 1B. We make this one move and everything takes off. Our care plans, our communication, our conversions, our retention, our marketing, and our referrals takes off. Guys, you gotta fix one thing. Your certainty and your case management, which are, I know that sounds like 2 things, it's really one thing. And then the last thing I want to leave you with, I am running out of time, is I want you to become a mixer. Why would I choose only 2 minutes left to bring that term in? I am an idiot. Here's what I mean by that. Technique mixer. What I thought when I started out, because this is how we all go on our chiropractic journey, we pick a club, we pick a technique that probably our mentor sent us to, and we put our blinders on, and that's all we ever study. You've been to 47 Gonstead seminars or 48 TRT seminars or whatever it is. Kids need all of chiropractic to get better because every kid is different. So what 15 years and this gray in the beard has taught me is I cannot adhere to just one technique. I need a tool kit full of kick-ass, neurologically focused, subluxation-centered, subluxation slang techniques, and I need to know which one to use when for which kid. And if I'm care planning appropriately, I probably got to use different techniques as the care plan goes, and I love teaching this stuff. I am simply out of time, so with my last minute, John, John and team who is editing this for me before we send it over, please put the QR code up about our Perfect Storm Science course. It is 10. I teach a 10D model of subluxation. If you've heard of dyskinesia, disafferentation, dysautonomia, and dyskinesis, which was taught to me by Dr. Chestnut, Dr. Fletcher, Dr. Kent, Dr. Murphy, I have taken that to really, really bring it to birth trauma. And you got to know what the other 6 Ds are. It is the most unbelievable change your practice, take your certainty, and your ability to communicate, care plan, and case manage to a whole nother level. When you do this course, which is about 10 to 12 hours, $300 for you guys, whatever that translates to, $100 coming back to Scotland, to Connor, and what you guys want to do with your chiropractic missions, it is there for you. So please, everybody, get this course. It'll change your practice because your certainty for taking care of kids will go through the freaking roof. Now your case management and your communication will follow, and your practice will erupt, and it'll be full of way more kids and families than ever before. And maybe next summer, I'll get to come over there and join you for this one, and you can tell me all about it. I love you. Thank you for the 25 minutes. I freaking love you guys like crazy. I miss you. Kick some ass, serve some kids, families, and pregnant moms. It's the best job on the planet.